Rational, because details make the difference. Welcome to Rational, the world market leader and the #1 in thermal cooking. The invention of the combi steamer by Rational was a fundamental change to the world of mass and commercial catering. Through the introduction of our ClimaPlus Combi, we have once again set a performance standard the world has to match. The ClimaPlus Combi opens up new horizons for cooking. With ClimaPlus Control, IQT, CleanJet, and Calc Diagnosis systems, you now have unique functions at your disposal which will not only facilitate but also improve your work. 180,000 customers worldwide already swear by Rational. 1 in 2 combi steamers operating in the world today comes from Rational. In 85 countries, over 80 million high-quality meals are prepared using Rational cooking technology day after day. Your ClimaPlus Combi stands for top-class quality. It will guarantee a long service life and complete reliability 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. With your ClimaPlus Combi behind you, you can relax in the face of your daily cooking tasks. Welcome to the worldwide Rational family. We congratulate you on your new ClimaPlus Combi, the heart of your kitchen, and we'd like to wish you every enjoyment in your daily work. And so that you will be able to fully take advantage of all the possibilities and benefits of your ClimaPlus Combi, you should take a few minutes of your time to watch this film. Welcome to the Costco Deli 63 Department Roast Chicken and Wing Training video featuring the Rational ClimaPlus Combi and the Hela Spicer Tumbler. My name is Philippe Trepanier and I'm the Corporate Chef and Regional Sales Manager for Rational Canada.
And my name is Graham Dalzell, and I'm an Account Manager and Retail Specialist with the Herman Lowy Spice Company. And together we have developed this new barbecue chicken and wing program.
This program was created to provide a value-added deli program for Costco Canada that will increase profitability, product visibility, and member loyalty by using quality seasoning and state-of-the-art technology, which is fully supported through tested procedures, programmed recipes, and professional interaction.
In order to provide the best cooked chicken product possible to the Costco member, this video has been created to help you, as a Costco Deli team member, to clearly understand the processes involved to achieve this. In this video, we will cover all the operational aspects of the Hela Canada Spicer Tumbler and the Rational CPC ClimaPlus Combi. Together they form the core of the Costco Hot Food Deli program.
Let's begin by reviewing the first step, which involves the seasoning of whole chickens and chicken wings using the Hela Canada Spicer Tumbler.
Let's take a minute to talk about the Hela Canada Spicer. This is the piece of equipment that we use to apply the mesquite marinade seasoning to the barbecue whole chickens and to the chicken wings for the new program at Costco. In order to achieve the best distribution of seasoning in this piece of equipment, we've chosen to put in 12 chickens for this process. The 12 chickens go in and they actually distribute the marinade themselves as they're tumbling inside the tumbler. Now that we've got the 12 chickens into the tumbler, we simply add the whole package of chicken marinade, which is 300 grams, into the spicer, making sure all of the marinade makes it into the tumbler. Then at this point we add precisely 3/4 of a cup of water. This is a very important element to this process. It allows us to distribute the marinade, the mesquite marinade, over the air-chilled poultry. So we add the 3/4 of a cup of water. At this point, we take the lid of the spicer. The back of the spicer lid has a gasket on it. We want to make sure that the gasket is in place and properly secure in this ring area here. That prevents any moisture from coming out of the tumbler while it's rotating. So we take the lid of the spicer, We place it on top of the canister, making sure it's secure. This is the sealing mechanism that holds the lid of the canister in place while it's rotating and tumbling. If you notice here, it has hooks on both of the ends. These hooks hook around the shaft that holds and supports the canister. The best way to do that is to make sure the hooks are in this configuration, not like this coming from the bottom. It will work that way, but it just prevents it from falling off while you're trying to secure it. So the securing mechanism goes on top of the lid. We make sure that the hook is in place on the shaft, holding the mechanism up. We just simply tighten it down. Once it becomes snug, give it a couple more turns, but be careful not to over tighten it because you can disfigure the canister lid. If you notice here, there's a valve. This valve is for vacuum operation, which we are not going to be using. So you want to make sure that valve is closed. That prevents moisture from just seeping out and causing a bit of a mess as it's tumbling. If you look here, you'll see the control panel on the spicer. It's very simple. It has a timer. You can set it up or down, and an on-off switch. For this particular process, we set it for 4 minutes. We turn on the machine, and we close the lid. And the spicer will begin to tumble, and it will run for the 4-minute process. If at any time during the tumbling cycle the lid is lifted, the tumbler will automatically stop. This is a safety feature of the tumbler. Once the lid is closed, the tumbler resumes from where it left off. Okay, once the tumbler has stopped rotating, we simply lift the lid, loosen our securing bracket, remove the bracket from the tumbler, and we just take our lid off. And as we can see, the chickens are very well marinated. Place our tub down below the canister and just slowly turn the canister, making sure your tub is centered. Just help the first couple of birds. Okay, once we have our chickens out, we just right the canister. And as we can see, our chickens are perfectly marinated and ready to spike.
Seasoning whole chickens. Place 12 chickens per load into the tumbler canister. Add 1 300-gram pouch of Hela whole chicken mesquite marinade. Add exactly 3/4 of a cup of cold water into the tumbler chamber. Put the lid complete with gaskets securely in place on the canister. Place the locking mechanism over the tumbler shaft and tighten down onto the lid. Close the vacuum valve to prevent dripping and possible cross-contamination. Set timer for 4-minute cycle. Press start and close the protective cover. When cycle is finished, remove locking bracket and tumbler lid. Place a tub underneath the canister and discharge the seasoned whole birds into the tub.
Now let's learn how to season our chicken wings. For this process, we're going to use a 20 kilo box of chicken wings. As you can see, I've made an incision in the plastic already. We simply pick up the wings by the plastic on either side, and we dump it into our tumbler. To season our chicken wings, we're going to use a 1 kilo bag of the same mesquite marinade that we used on the whole birds. There's no water in this process because there is enough water on the wings to distribute the marinade, so we don't need water for this one. We simply take the 1 kilo bag of marinade and put it into the tumbler, making sure all of the marinade is into the tumbler. And then we secure our lid onto the tumbler the same way we did with the whole chickens, making sure the lid is on securely. And we put our locking mechanism in place. Give it a couple of turns to make sure it's secure. We close our valve. This process involves a 4-minute tumble cycle, the same as the whole chickens. So we input our time, turn on the spicer, and close the lid. Okay, now that the tumbler has stopped its 4-minute cycle, we lift the lid. We remove our securing bar. And we lift our lid. And as we can see, the wings have picked up all of the marinade. They're looking really good. So now we take our tub. Similarly to the whole birds, we want to center the tub below the canister. And you just want to gently pull down on the canister. With the wings, you have to just take your time, guide them out. I like to help the first 10 kilos or so out by hand. Make sure there's none going on the floor. And then we tip it, center the canister a little more. Just make sure that all the wings are out of the canister. Then we right our canister. There we have it. Our wings are perfectly marinated and ready to tray.
Seasoning chicken wings. Place 20 kilos of chicken wings per load into the tumbler canister. Add one 1 kilo pouch of Hela chicken wing mesquite marinade. Put the lid complete with gaskets securely in place on the canister. Place the locking mechanism over the tumbler shaft and tighten down onto the lid. Close vacuum valve to prevent dripping and possible cross-contamination. Set timer for 4-minute cycle. Press start and close the protective cover. When the cycle is finished, remove the locking bracket and tumbler lid. Place the tub underneath the canister and discharge seasoned chicken wings into the tub.
Now we're going to learn how to place our chickens onto our chicken spike. It's a very important process and a couple of key issues involved with doing that. What happens is we place the chicken cavity over this spreader. This spreader and this spike play a very important role in the cooking process. It holds the cavity of the chicken open. The actual spike itself transfers heat up into the cavity, which speeds the cooking process. This part of the spike holds the breast open and allows the hot airflow up into the cavity, and that's how we can achieve a quick cooking cycle. First thing we do is pick up a chicken into the palm of your right hand, or if you're left-handed with the drums down. We cross the drums with one hand. We place the chicken over the spike so that it goes up into the cavity, making sure the drums are remaining crossed, being held by this pin here. Then we simply lift the breast over the spike, making sure that the drums are still crossed and that the spike is holding the breast open, allowing airflow up into the cavity. The next stage of this process is to fold the wings back. Simply grab the wing, pull the tip back, and make sure they're tucked in behind. That way they don't burn during the cooking process. Why don't we have a look at that one more time? Holding the bird in our right hand with the drumsticks down. We cross the drumsticks over, placing the cavity of the chicken over that large part of the spike, making sure the drums are crossed as they go down. Then we just gently pull the breast over that part of the spike, making sure that the chicken is configured properly with the drums crossed. That's a very important part. If the drum isn't placed in there properly and it drops down during the cooking process, what's going to happen is that drum is going to go from here, if it's not being held, and it's going to drop down like this. Then you won't be able to pull the chicken off and place it into your retail package properly. It'll end up being salvaged. Then we go to the wing. We simply put the tips of the wings back, like so. Okay, now that we have all of our chickens positioned on our spike, we just want to inspect it and make sure that all the drums are in position, that none of the drums have fallen out of their cross position. Looks like we've achieved that. So at this point now we can put the spike with the chickens onto the roll-in rack. We do this, we make sure that the breasts are facing out as we slide it onto the rack. And as you can see, all of the breasts on these 3 layers of chickens, the breasts are facing me.
Spiking seasoned whole chicken. Place 1 whole seasoned bird in your hand. Cross and hold the drumsticks. Sit cross drums onto the base of the U-hook. Pull the breast cavity over the U-hook. Tuck the wings behind the back of the bird. Inspect spiked birds to ensure that the legs are crossed and the wings are properly tucked. Ensure that all breasts are facing out.
Now we're going to learn how to tray our marinated chicken wings. You simply pick up the wings, place them in the center of the granite enamel bake sheet, down the center. And what we're going to accomplish is we're going to tray the 20 kilo batch of wings that we seasoned onto 5 of these granite enamel bake sheets. We're going to spread them evenly throughout the tray, trying to make sure there's a little bit of space between the wings. We want to make sure we have enough airflow to make the wings nice and crispy. It also eliminates a buildup of too much moisture on the tray, so the wings do get crispy. One of the key points here is to make sure we don't have wings on top of each other like this one here. What's going to happen is that wing and this wing aren't going to cook properly. We want to make sure that we attain our internal temperature of 183 degrees Fahrenheit. And that looks pretty good right about there. At this point, we take our tray and we slide it onto our roll-in rack. And those wings are ready to cook.
Traying seasoned chicken wings. Place 3 handfuls of seasoned chicken wings down the center of the granite enamel tray. Divide the 20 kilo batch of seasoned wings evenly over 5 granite enamel trays. Spread 4 kilos of wings evenly onto the entire surface of the tray. Do not double up or crowd the wings on the tray. Before we actually cook the birds, it's important that we discuss the configuration of the product in the roll-in rack. Firstly, let's look at the position of the chickens on the trolley. All the breasts are facing to the right. This is an important element for when we are taking the product out and putting it in the takeaway container. If you look down at the bottom of the roll-in rack, you'll see that we've placed a granite enamel container. This will allow for moisture and fat to collect at the bottom of the roasting area. Every 2 layers of chicken, it's important to place a granite enamel container. If we have more than 2 racks of chicken, the bottom rack of chickens will not have proper color distribution and will end up not being able to sell that product. You'll also notice here that we've placed the chicken wings at the top of the roll-in rack. This is key because these chicken wings will cook first in the 2-step process, and we will remove them, and this gives us easy access. It's also important to note that before we actually move the product in the cart, we want to make sure that we engage the locking mechanism at both the front and the back of the roll-in rack. This will ensure that no product spills out of the roll-in rack when we're moving to the oven. Lastly, we place the handle into the cart and we're ready to roast chicken. Roll-in rack configuration. All breasts of whole birds must face out. Place a granite enamel drip tray between every 2 layers of birds. Load the filled granite enamel trays onto the top of the trolley. Always engage the safety locking mechanism at both the front and the rear of the trolley before moving product to the CPC ClimaPlus Combi. Place the removable transport handle into the trolley. Before commissioning your ClimaPlus Combi, check that it is standing on a level surface, and check that the electricity, or if you have a gas appliance, the gas, the water supply, and drains are connected properly. Before starting work each day, make sure the water supply and the master switch are both on, and for gas appliances, the gas tap is on. Great! Now we can start with our ClimaPlus Combi. I'd like to explain the control panel of your ClimaPlus Combi. Here we have the on and off switch. This is our climate control center. This is our Clima window, which allows us to precisely monitor the environment inside the cabinet. This is our magic eye, which allows us to manipulate the environment inside the cabinet. Below, we have 2 of the 3 cooking processes. The first is steam, designated by the blue key. The second process is convection, which is designated by the red key. The third process is combi. This is a combination of convection with moist heat. By selecting the magic eye and using the central control dial, I can precisely change and monitor the environment inside the cabinet. The more the red key, the greater the dry heat in convection. The greater the blue keys, the greater the moisture inside the cabinet. The second area denotes the temperature and time keys. By selecting the temperature key and using the central control dial, I can adjust the cabinet temperature. I can also adjust the time by depressing the time key and again using the central control dial. The third area houses our intelligent cooking systems. The first key contains the intelligent meat probe. This allows us to precisely monitor the core temperature of the products we're cooking in the combi. By using the central control dial, I can dial the core temperature that I desire the product to cook to, which is denoted here on the left side of the panel. The temperature on the right is the current internal temperature of the product. The second key houses our intelligent cooking processes. For all intents and purposes, we will not use these in the Costco deli program. There are only 4 recipes required to produce great results in your RATIONAL ClimaPlus Combi. The 4 programs are housed in the Program Start library. The first 2 were created to cook whole birds and chicken wings together at the same time. The other 2 programs were designed to cook only wings or only birds. The first 2 programs are stored in the program library. They are called Combo Step 1 and Combo Step 2. These 2 programs work in conjunction to cook perfect wings and chicken at the same time. The other 2 programs for solo birds and solo wings are housed in the library and are called Solo Wing and Solo Bird. Below the Intelligent Program Library, there are 4 additional function keys. The first 3, for all intents and purposes, are not required in the Costco deli program. The critical key is the 4th key to the right. This is the rapid cool down key. This key is used when you're going from one cooking program or process to another, and you are required to lower the cooking cabinet temperature. In order to have this accomplished, you simply depress the rapid cool down key. Your ClimaPlus Combi will instruct you to open the door. You then open the door, allow your combi to cool down, and when the desired temperature is reached, you simply depress the key again and the function is ended. Let's cook our first batch of combination wings and birds. To do so, we must begin with the Combo Step 1 program. We simply do that by going into the program library and selecting Combo Step 1. We then depress the key. Your combi is now preheating. Once the oven has finished preheating, the alarm will sound, designating you to load your combination wings and birds into the oven. Now that we've completed the first step in our two-step process, it's time to remove the chicken wings. Now that we've finished cooking the chicken wings, we can finish cooking the whole birds. To do this, we're going to go into Combi Step 2. We simply select the Program Start button and switch from Combo Step 1 with a simple turn of the central control dial. We move to Combo Step 2. But before we begin to cook, we're going to have to cool down the IQT sensor, which is now a critical part of the cooking process. To do this, we're simply going to take the IQT sensor and cool it down for a few seconds in some cold water. This will guarantee an accurate core temperature. Once I've done this, I simply take the probe, insert it into the top of the chicken breast, and ensure that the top of the sensor is touching the top of the breast. We're ready to cook. All we need to do now is close the oven door and press Program Start.
Combo cooking. Select Combo Step 1. Press Program Start. When the combi alarm sounds and indicates loading, carefully open the door and roll the filled trolley into the oven. Lock the casters into place. Close the oven door and the ClimatePlus Combi automatically moves to the next step in the program. The alarm will sound when the program is complete. Carefully open the oven door. Disengage the front safety lock and quickly remove the trayed wings. Cool the IQT sensor probe. Place the probe into a chicken breast pointing from the shoulder down. Be sure that the probe is inserted into the flesh of the breast and not the cavity. Close the oven door. Press Program Start and turn the central control dial to Combo Step 2. Press Program Start. When the alarm sounds indicating that Step 2 has finished, carefully open the door, unlock the casters, and roll the trolley to the packaging station. And here's another useful tip. Be sure to use the Rational Fat Trap. The fat is separated and can be disposed of much easier.
Well, as we can see, our chicken wings are finished. We've engaged Step 2 on our combo bird program. Our combi's running, our birds will be finished in no time at all. Now we have to package these beautiful wings. And the first step of that is to put our pull time onto the container from the time of packaging. This is a very important step. And again, it's a Costco policy for this department that this product remains no longer than 2 hours in that counter. And we have to make sure that we adhere to that. It's a safety issue, a food safety issue, especially when it comes to poultry. This is a one glove operation. Those wings are hot. If you're right-handed, you're going to put a glove on your left hand. If you're left-handed, you're going to put a glove on your right hand. And then the scoop is going to go in the hand without the glove. The way we do that is we just scoop the wings, fill up a scoop full of wings. And what we're going to do is we're going to put 1 kilo of wings into a container. We want to make sure that they're distributed and displayed nice in this container. This is a new product, and we want to do well with it. It's doing well in a lot of the locations that it's in right now, and it's going to do well here too. We're going to place our lids on the containers. At this point, when you don't have protective gear on your hands, not only to protect your hands from heat, but to protect your customer from cross-contamination from your hands, try not to touch the product. Snap the lids on. If you're prepared and you're ready to go and you've got your pull times all set, it's going to work a lot better, it's going to run a lot smoother, and you're going to look a lot more organized, not only to your fellow workers, but to your members.
Packaging wings. Place the pull times on the base of the packaging 2 hours from the time of packaging. Place a heat-resistant glove in one hand and a metal scoop in the other. Scoop 1 kilogram of chicken wings into the black merchandiser base. Secure the transparent lid by snapping it into place.
Our whole birds are done. Now it's time to package them for sale.
Well, as you can see, our chickens are finished, they're cooked, they look great, and we're going to prepare them for sale. The first thing we do when we wheel the hot trolley out of the oven, using the handle as we lock our casters, that prevents the trolley from rolling around and potentially running into somebody and burning them. Before we start, we just remove our handle and we'll put it out of the way so that we can access our chicken. First thing we do is we take our pull date gun and we apply a 2-hour pull date from the time of packaging, which is right now. So that's very important to do that. It helps us to maintain the integrity of our program because our policy is to pull that product after 2 hours and salvage it. These birds are really hot. You have to put on clean thermal gloves. It protects you, and being clean, it protects our customers. As you can see, the way we've configured the birds onto the trolley, when we talked about trolley configuration, we have all the breasts facing us. And we discussed how that was going to help us in displaying the birds in the packages. And as you can see, we simply pick up the first bird, and it is placed directly into the container. If that bird was backwards, I'm going to show you what would happen. If that bird was backwards, you would be pulling it off like this, and then you have to remanipulate that bird in your hands, turn it around. 50% of them are going to end up on the deck. The company's going to lose a lot of money. And it's going to be really frustrating for you, so it's a good idea to keep those breasts out. And as you can see, they come off of there very easily, and they drop into their display cases very easily. Take your time. These birds need to be handled gently. You don't want to damage them, tear the breast skin, or damage any of the legs. Now we're ready to place the tops on the containers. The best way to do this is to go across and treat it like a bit of a production, because you want to get them into the counter as fast as you possibly can so they don't lose their core temperature. And cover them. And once you've got a half a table or so full of them, put some pressure on it and turn it around and seal it. So now the birds are ready to go into the hot deli. The next stage is to remove your spike so you can get at the birds in the next spike on the cart. So what we have to do is we just unlock the locking mechanism on the rolling rack. Make sure you got your gloves on. Don't ever forget that is hot. It's going to hold a lot of heat for a long time. Everything here is very hot and you can burn yourself. The easiest way to process this is to have a tray up above. Just slide those spikes up above you, and then move the next one to the front. Relock that again just for safety, because you might be pulling on that rack. And then you're going to take those birds off one at a time, and you're going to do exactly the same procedure again. Now that our roll-in rack is empty, it's really important not to forget that this piece of equipment can still be really hot and can still burn somebody. We've got to keep our protective equipment on our hands. And at this time what we do is we're going to roll this piece of equipment into your Trollson blast chiller. That's going to put it right out of harm's way. Nobody's going to get burned, and it's going to chill it down really quickly. If you'd noticed, I put the handle in backwards to roll it into the Trollson blast chiller. That's so that it'll actually fit in there. This was custom designed for this whole program by RATIONAL, and in order for it to flow in and out of that blast chiller, not only with chicken wings and with whole birds, but also with our chicken pot pies, our quiche, and those other products too. So it's really important to remember it's still hot and get it in that blast chiller, and that way nobody gets burned.
Packaging whole seasoned birds. Lock the casters into place so that the trolley will not move. Place the pull times on the base of the packaging 2 hours from the time of packaging. Using heat-resistant gloves, remove the cooked birds from the spikes one at a time, being careful not to tear the skin, and place them into the black merchandising bases. Secure the transparent lid by snapping it into place. To access the next rack of spikes, disengage the safety lock. Remove the spike and place into an empty shelf. Be careful, the trolley stays hot. Always wear heat-resistant gloves when working with the trolley. When done unloading the trolley, place the removable handle facing into the trolley and roll the hot trolley into the Trollson blast chiller to cool down. Would you like to finish on time? With CleanJet, the patented fully automatic cleaning system, you no longer have to clean the cabinet. And this is how cleaning with CleanJet works. Hang CleanJet in the cooking cabinet. The word CleanJet appears on the display. You have 4 cleaning levels between 1 and 4 to choose from. 1 for light and 4 for intensive. In addition, you have the fast function for a quick clean when required. The levels are selected using the central control dial. Cleaning is started by pressing the program start key, and that's all you have to do. The cooking cabinet in your ClimaPlus Combi will be left sparkling and hygienically clean. The combination of RATIONAL Special Cleaner, RATIONAL Clean Rinse, and the Intelligent Cleaning Program is guaranteed to leave your cooking perfectly clean and hygienic. Cleaning with CleanJet can also be carried out without supervision. When the cleaning process is completed, your ClimaPlus Combi switches off automatically. Before starting a new cleaning process, make sure there is sufficient RATIONAL Special Cleaner and RATIONAL Rinse Agent in the appropriate containers. And be sure to use only RATIONAL Special Cleaner. Floor standing appliances are supplied with RATIONAL Special Cleaner and RATIONAL Rinse Agent straight from the canisters. To do so, simply unscrew the canister lid and attach the supplied red cap to the canister with RATIONAL Special Cleaner. Repeat the procedure with the blue cap for the canister with the RATIONAL Rinse Agent. Now connect both tubes to your ClimaPlus Combi, RATIONAL Special Cleaner on the right and RATIONAL Rinse Agent on the left. To make it easy to transport the canisters, RATIONAL has designed a special cart. This cart can easily accommodate the canisters for RATIONAL Special Cleaner and RATIONAL Rinse Agent. On tabletop appliances, these containers are to be found underneath the ClimaPlus Combi. Pull them out until the colored lids can be seen clearly. The red lid is for RATIONAL Special Cleaner and the blue lid is for RATIONAL Rinse Agent. As a safety precaution, wear gloves and safety goggles before lifting up the cap and pouring the RATIONAL Special Cleaner or RATIONAL Rinse Agent as required. Close the caps again and push the containers back under the ClimaPlus Combi. CleanJet. Make sure the oven has cooled to 150 degrees or less. Place the empty trolley into the ClimaPlus Combi. Put the CleanJet arms into place using the burgundy clips. Make sure the RATIONAL Special Cleaner and RATIONAL Rinse Agent are full. Clip the hoses into place. Select your cleaning mode, levels 1 through 4, or quick. Press start. If you have any questions, then contact your Costco Regional Operations Manager or a RATIONAL Executive Chef. If you still have questions and would like to have more detailed information, why not visit one of our numerous Cooking Live events? Or you can order fully comprehensive and easy to understand operating manuals. So if you need assistance, just dial 1-877-536-7272. You can also contact Rational on the web at rationalcanada.com. And now we'd like to wish you and all the team members of the Costco Deli 63 good cooking and bon appetit.